What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the AFC South Roundtable. I am joined by the usual suspects. Our host, Ruben, with the Houston Texans in first place. Derek Larger with the Colts, second place in the division. Third place, UCF Jaguar. And last place, Titan Rossi. Man, let's start with Tyson, man. How you feeling today, man? I'm saying Titan Rossi.
Oh, okay. I was like, who's Tyson? Man, you know what? It's as you could see, I lost the bet to Derek. It's been rough. You know what I mean? My girlfriend, I don't even know if she still wants me. My dog doesn't even recognize me anymore. My cat hates me. My mental health is declining. And it's all because of Derek and the old crusty Joe Flacco, who is just come in the league again and is destroying teams and should be the starter for the Colts all season. Even if Anthony Richardson is 100% healthy, Flacco should be the starter. And MVP, bet US right now.
MVP, that's
all I got.
Nah, fam, we ain't getting that far. Jeez.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. What about you, UCF? How you feeling, man?
I mean, if we could play the Colts at home every weekend, we'd be pretty damn good. We'd be pretty damn good. But unfortunately, we don't. So we're 1-5. We absolutely freaking suck. Okay, season shot. There's no hope left. I'm on Team Tank, baby. Let's lose the rest of these games.
Wow. Jeez. Man, oh man, Team Tank. We got to talk about that. Derek, how you feeling, man? You're in a solid spot right now.
Yeah, I would love to feel better about the situation that I'm in. Obviously 3-3 and in the wild card situation right now. I would love to be happier about it, but this team still stinks for Indy. We just stink a little less than some of the other teams right below us, apparently. Hey, it's always fun to get a win over a divisional opponent. And obviously I get to keep this. So I'm very happy about that. And I'm ready to get into it.
Man, oh man, the champ, the top of the mountain. He knew he would be here. Ruben, how you doing? How them Texans?
Hey, man, I'm feeling blessed. H-Town till we drown. 5-1, top of the division. Number 2 in the AFC overall, man. We finally get our first dominant win of the season. I'm feeling fantastic right now.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get into what happened this week, and we got a lot of things that we need to cover. First and foremost, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Let your friends and family members know about the channel. Thank you for making this such an amazing show every week on the AFC South Roundtable. All right, and this stream is also being powered by BetUS. Receive a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit using code YouTube150 to take advantage of the sign-up bonus up to $2,000. If you do that, you'll also receive 125% bonus on your second and third deposit as well. All right, supporting our sponsor is supporting the channel, but make sure if you do gamble, do it responsibly. If you have an addiction or issue, there are resources on the site that can help you out. All right, and just so you know, the odds are already up for week 7. Okay, week 7 has been placed on the site, so go ahead and check it out. As you can see, the Jaguars are 5.5-point favorites. Man, that's a big up. Wow, Tennessee, baby. Oh, Tennessee, major underdogs, +9. That might be the biggest of the week, maybe. Houston Texans. Texans are favored. No, they're actually underdogs.
Couldn't be the Jags, huh?
And the Colts are favorites over Miami. Man, these lines are wrong. But man, so whatever, if you think that you know which one's gonna hit, make sure you get in on it right now on BetUS. Supporting our sponsors is supporting the channel, so take advantage of that opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. Again, punch that like button on your way in the building. All right, let's dive right into it because I love to start out with the injury reports on every team. First and foremost, can you let me know what's the latest, Ruben, on Denico Autry? I know that he was suspended. Is he coming back now?
Yeah, so he was suspended the first 6 weeks of the season due to PEDs. He is back. He is already practicing. D'Amico Ryans has shown some excitement about D'Amico coming back. This is one of the Houston Texans' big offseason moves. He had 11 and a half sacks last year for the Tennessee Titans. He's also played for all of the AFC South, and with the Jags, Titans, and Colts, he's averaged 8 sacks a season. So we're expecting a very good pass rusher back on this already dangerous front four. Happy that he's here.
Well, man, you're going to need him playing the Packers coming up. We're going to get into those previews later this week. Let's go over to the Titans real quick. Titan Rossi, talk to me. What do I need to know about Tajay Spears' hamstring?
Yeah, I mean, it's mainly just a hamstring. I mean, probably looking at a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. He's dealt with a lot of little injuries like that. But I expect him back within a couple weeks, I would say.
Couple weeks, so he's not coming back now. It's actually official.
Nothing's official. I don't think he'll be back this week. I don't see why he would.
Man, well, let's talk about the Jags real quick. Tyson Campbell, Travis Etienne. What's the latest on those two guys?
Yeah, I mean, Tyson Campbell hurt his hamstring week 1 against the Dolphins. He's said to go back to practice. He's probably going to return too soon. He's going to suck, and then he's going to hurt his hamstring again. He's going to end the season on the IR, just like he did last year. And Etienne's got a hurt shoulder. His body language is awful. He clearly probably doesn't want to be here. We'll probably trade him at the trade deadline when we're, 1-7? So, yeah, that's probably what's going to go on with us.
Man, oh, man, there's some sellers out here, man, that you would have never thought. Let's go over to the Indianapolis Colts with Derek. Jonathan Taylor, any progress on that front?
Well, I mean, he says he's feeling better every day. You know how ankles can be. I mean, you can always feel better, but, you got to feel really good in order to be able to test that thing out. It'll be interesting to see the practice report throughout the week. And, a couple other things for Indy is Anthony Richardson, potentially coming back this week, barring a setback, should play. And also we do get an opportunity to maybe get DeForest Buckner back this week. I don't know how his ankle actually is. He has been doing some stuff with his private coach this last week with an air cast or something on his ankle. But he is eligible to return off the IR this week. I'm not sure if he'll be back though or not.
Interesting. Speaking of Anthony Richardson, you said, based off of what I'm hearing is that he may be start as long as he's good to go. And it looks like that may be the case. Do you agree with that, Derek? Do you feel like they should be marching Anthony Richardson out there? Or should they be going with, the man, the myth, the legend himself in Flacco?
Well, I mean, I've definitely been very happy with the job that Joe Flacco has done in the time that Anthony Richardson has been out. But Shane Steichen's already said as much that if he's healthy, he's going to be playing. I mean, there's no question about it. And I do believe that is the right answer. I like what Joe Flacco's done. I mean, it hasn't really been, the week against the Jags was fine. But again, it's not like we're seeing subpar performances. And even if he has been, this team is just bad enough to the point where regardless of what quarterback you put in, this team's just not ready. So ultimately, yeah, you got to get Anthony Richardson out there to get those reps. I was honestly shocked he didn't play this week because he practiced all week prior. And then all of a sudden we hear, he's going to be a game time decision, but the object is for him to start. And then an hour and a half before the game, oh, no, he's the emergency quarterback. I'm like, well, that came out of nowhere. So, yeah, it was definitely a shock, but I'm excited to get Anthony Richardson back.
Wow, and shots fired by Coach for Super Bowl. Colts fans and Texas fans on their Week 14 bye week will get to see the clown show that will be Jags versus Titans.
Hey, remember when the Jags beat the Colts and all the fans were dressed as clowns? So
dude, don't remind me. It was one of the most epic rants I've had on my channel ever. which you totally should go watch.
So talking about clown shows might give Colts fans some PTSD.
Tough, man. Let's go to Ruben, man. He's sitting up there pretty. Like, I ain't got much to say. Everybody know what it is. Is it fair for me to say that CJ Stroud is officially the undisputed best quarterback in the division now?
I mean, it's been that way since last year when he won the Offensive Rookie of the Year, and it was clear that he was the best quarterback in the division. And now he's just showing out, to be 5-1, and with everyone praying on a sophomore slump, it hit IR5. It sure hit Will Levis. We have a legit franchise quarterback, and he's gonna lead the Houston Texans to glory, man, sooner rather than later. Shout out to CJ. If he has another solid game, man, I hope we start seeing some MVP odds on BetUS.
Wow. Speaking of, undisputed, best quarterback in the division and CJ Stroud, there was one quarterback who was supposed to be his rival this year to prove otherwise. What's the latest, UCF, on Trevor Lawrence, man? How are you all feeling about him? Because I know you said, what direction are we headed, and you're talking about tanking. Could that be for a quarterback?
Look, TD, I know you love to talk about quarterbacks every single week when you host a show, but the Jaguars find a quarterback, man. If you actually watch the Jaguars, quarterback play is the least of the Jaguars' issues. I mean, you have defensive players jogging after the ball carrier. Trevor Lawrence, after coming back from halftime, we were down 14-3. He fires a 20-yard strike to Evan Ingram, very first play after the half, and he fumbles the ball. The Bears went on to score every single possession in the second half against us. Trevor Lawrence, there were 4 drop touchdown passes in this game against the Bears. No, Trevor Lawrence is fine, okay? I'm taking to get this bum-ass GM out of here, to get this bum-ass head coach out of here. We all know the head coach is going to be gone, but for some reason, Shad Khan loves to have Trent Baalke sucking on his nipple, and for some reason, he won't get rid of the man. So for me, you got to go bare bottom for him, because the Jaguars could go 7-10 and be like, oh, well, we started 1-5 and the end of the year, going 7-4 or something like that. We're on an upward trend. Give Baalke another chance. Absolutely not. We are tanking, not even necessarily for the better draft pick. Although if we do completely clean house, it's going to make the job a lot more attractive if you have a top 2, top 3 draft spot. But I'm tanking to be able to get rid of everybody in this football organization and to be able to just get this team going in the right trajectory, because the Jaguars do have some talent, but they have a terrible culture and they have a terrible just football organization in general.
Man, oh man, it's just shocking to see the night and day where they were and where they are now. No one would have called it this way. Man, it definitely needs to be a shakeup. Let's go on over to the Titans real quick. Will Levis, I'll let you speak. Talk to us. Where are you all with that?
I mean, he's one of the greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen. No, I'm just kidding. He's I mean, the guy, look, man, like I'm out. Like I'm out on Will Levis. I was out a few weeks ago. Like it's, if you watch our channel, there's no doubt about it. Uploads out on him. Mike's a little more positive on things. But look, the guy is 25 years old. Like, it's not like he's a younger quarterback in the league.
He's the oldest quarterback in the AFC South. He's older than Trevor Lawrence.
It's insane. And,
Wow.
a lot of people are like, people want to tank. Like, it's obvious. Like, people want to tank. But, like, I released a video today and I said, look, like, there's a lot of crap teams right now. Like, you're not guaranteed, like, the number 1 pick. There might be quite a few 2 or 3 win teams this season. And with the way the quarterback market is looking, there's some good, like Shedeur Sanders and a couple of those guys out there. Cam Ward. There are some guys, but are they really like number 1, number 2 type? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're as high up as, like, say, Caleb Williams or what's the kid from Washington?
Jaden Daniels.
Those, yeah. those type of players. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I just want to win some games. Like, I want to see you brought in all these weapons. You paid all this money for Calvin Ridley. You know how many receptions he's had in 5 games? 9. 9 receptions. They targeted him 8 times yesterday or Sunday. They couldn't get the ball to him. Like, it wasn't his fault, really. Like, he did miss one pretty good catch, but Will Levis could not make a good enough pass to him where it was really catchable, other than there were maybe 2 passes that were somewhat almost catchable. It's just terrible. The quarterbacking is absolutely awful. I'm tired of watching it. I'm not going to pay another dime for Titans games, for Titans memorabilia, nothing. I'll sit here and do these YouTube shows and do my YouTube channel and all that and support them. But I'm not spending another dime, man. Like, it's awful. Like, I can't stand to watch it every Sunday. It's awful. It's like sitting there watching paint dry. Like, it is that terrible. The offense, the play calling's absolutely atrocious. Like, it's all behind the line of scrimmage, screen passes, and it's terrible. And you know the reason why, TD. It's because he doesn't have any faith in Will Levis. It's so obvious. Like, any moron who has any football sense at all could sit there and see that. And I'll shut up. Man. You guys don't want to hear me rant about the freaking Titans all.
No, I love
show,
this.
but-
I want to hear some more.
But no, I mean,
Derek loves
it's
them.
Hey,
awful.
shout out to the GOAT, Samuel
awful.
Womack. All right, shutting down Calvin Ridley. Shutting
Man,
down.
Yeah, no, he did great. I mean, they did great against Ridley. I mean, you can't fault you can't put anything against the Colts defense because they did very good. But Will Levis just sucks, man. Like, it's over. It's over.
And he broke a kid's leg, dude.
Huh?
And he broke that ball boy's leg. They had an air
Bro,
cast.
I see people saying that in the
God, I
comments.
forgot-
Like, dude,
I
he didn't
forgot
do it
about
on
that.
purpose. All right, he got pushed out by Jalen Jones at the end.
But I
The
mean,
ball
he's
boy
just bad
wasn't paying
news all
attention.
around,
That's
man.
what the problem was. You got
I
to pay
totally
attention
forgot
to
about
where
that.
the game is going on. All right, you never know when something like that could happen.
The mayo and the coffee should have been the first sign of this is not right.
Oh man, this is tough, man. I feel bad for you, Titan Rossi. Listen, I don't know what direction you guys are headed in or what decisions need to be made, but it's definitely going to be an interesting offseason, bro. And Derek is just loving it. Shout out to Tay. Said we've got some Pop Warner QBs that'll help the Jags out down here in Houston if they need it. Would probably be better results. Wow.
Okay.
Some Trevor shots, maybe. I don't know. Paul Wilson said, "Dear baby Jesus, LOL at that baby face for the shoe and bring the juice." Man, said Texans and Colts 1-2, and the Titans and Jags bottom feeders, just like the good old days. Perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Thanos quote.
And Titan chiming in saying, would love to hear the panel's opinion. Would they start Rudolph at this point? What would you do, Ruben?
No, I mean, just let Will Levis continue to F it up and get as close to the number 1 overall pick as you can. Look, it's been clear since week 2 that, that Will Levis isn't Coach Callahan's guy. And I think now you need to start looking at tanking, because not only do you have to get through the Colts to try to come back, but you're not getting through the Houston Texans. The season is over for Tennessee. They should just let Will Levis go out there and be the meme god that he is every single week.
Man, this is tough. What about you, UCF? What would you do?
I mean, I would keep playing Levis. I'd want to, if I'm a Titans fan, I want to lose. I mean, you saw this last year. 6 quarterbacks went in the first 12 picks. I mean, teams are reaching like crazy to get them. And if you're the Titans and you end up with the 6th, 7th pick in the draft, you might only get the 4th or 5th best quarterback out there. Like, if you're a quarterback needy team, it's not a bad thing to tank, and it's not a bad thing to get as far up to that number 1 pick as you possibly can. And it's not like the Titans really invested anything in Will Levis. They invested a 2nd round pick in him. It's a lot different if you're looking at like Derek, if things are going maybe a little bit south to Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson was the number 4 overall pick. Will Levis was a 2nd round pick. They didn't invest all that much in him. So, I mean, if I'm the Titans, I want to lose games.
Derek, do you agree?
Well, I mean, if you sit him, then that tells you exactly the direction that you're going in. And that obviously sends a message to Will Levis that, hey, we obviously don't trust you, and you have a lot to learn still. And I don't think the Titans are in this sort of situation where like, oh, it's a sit Will Levis, have him learn type thing. I don't think that's quite the same situation here. I mean, Will Levis just stinks. I mean, it's just a complete different analogy of a bunch of different quarterbacks. So yeah, I think they should keep starting him, because I'm sure the conversation in the building is probably, hey, let's just lose as many games as we can. They can't say we didn't try by not allowing Will Levis to just do whatever. And, they'll just end up with a top 10 draft pick, and then they'll probably try to trade up and see what other quarterback they can try to get.
All right, and Titan Rossi, man, sit him and replace him, or just keep riding.
Man, it's hard because, I mean, the smart thing to do is to keep playing them and, get the higher draft pick. I mean, it's just tough to watch as a Titans fan. Like, it's really tough to watch. I mean, the only game they won this year was when Mason Rudolph was in the game. Now, he only threw 70-something yards, but he didn't turn the ball over. He made a few plays when he needed to. But it's tough, man. It's tough for me because I'm not really like one of the tanker type fans. Like, I want to see the team win, and I don't want to see the locker room lost and all that. But at this point, man, yeah. But, really, like, who is the quarterback that is there that's like that top 3 pick potential? Like, are any of those guys really as good as they in the last year's class?
Well, I'll say this, Rossi, just to chime in on that just real quick. I think it'll be smart for NFL fans all around the world to stop thinking like that, because we're starting to see quarterbacks that nobody had in the top 3, show up.
Right.
And you're starting to see late round pick quarterbacks even, have some success. So I don't look at it that way. When you look at, Cam Ward, Shadur Sanders, and a lot of these guys, they could be great, but it might be a guy that nobody's even mentioning.
Right.
This is why a lot of teams stay in QB purgatory, because they're scared to try the next guy. But to see what Jaden Daniels doing, even Spencer Rattler, had a rough second half, but showed some promise. You see all of these guys starting to play some good football. Drake May, showed some promise in his game. So it's hard to say, but it's just a matter of, can Will Levis evolve into a better quarterback? I think that's the real question that Titan fans have to ask themselves.
Right.
Shout out to Paul Wilson, said, I mean, who is going to get the number 1 pick? It's a race to the toilet bowl for Jags and Titans. Well,
I mean, we'll trade back with the Titans if you guys want that spot. We'll trade back.
It's funny you say that, though, because you have the Patriots are like only 1 win. They may not need a quarterback, right?
Hey, we play the Patriots this weekend, okay? That is
that'll be interesting.
Even though we're 5.5-point favorites, I don't like that. But nobody outsucks the Jaguars, okay?
We'll see.
Except the Colts when we play them in Jacksonville. That's about it.
That's a different thing. That needs to be studied in a lab somewhere. I don't know what about that one.
The Browns may need a quarterback, maybe. I don't know. The Jags, they say they don't. The Titans need them. The Rams may be ready to.
The Dolphins need one.
Did you say the Houston Texans? I think y'all good. I think y'all good. But no, but it'll be interesting to see how it works out on the back end. Don't worry. We still play y'all, Ruben. It's coming.
Oh,
all right. Tay said Titan Rossi crashed out harder than Jerry Jones. Man, that's tough. All right. One more thing before we get into these game previews. Ruben, let us know, what was this Cam Akers trade all about?
It was just about someone who is not a vital piece of your offense. And the fact that you got any compensation, for Cam Akers is pretty surprising, given the fact that he was a pickup during training camp. He was with the Minnesota Vikings last year, so there was some familiarity. Dameon Pierce is the Houston Texans backup running back, and I think they're like Dare Agumbawale. So shout out to Cam Akers, man. He has no Achilles. He had a touchdown last week, so I wish nothing but the best for him.
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to get into the game previews. There were some good games this week between the division. And thank you, everybody who's sending super chats. We appreciate the love and support on the channel, supporting what we're doing over here at Roundtable Sports. Right before we get into the game previews, check out Roundtable Sports overall.
Roundtable Sports Network brings you NFL divisional debate coverage on a weekly basis from your favorite content creators across YouTube, featuring the AFC East Roundtable live Monday and Wednesday evenings, the AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The NFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The AFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The NFC East Roundtable live Thursdays at 6 p.m. EST. Roundtable Sports. Real coverage from real fans.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Roundtable Sports, real coverage from real fans. And the four gentlemen on the screen right now are truly real fans of their team, going through the ups, the downs, the ins and outs. No matter what, they rock with their team. Let's get into this weekend, though. Man, oh, man, oh, man. Let's go ahead and get it out the way. Let's start out with the Jaguars, okay? It looked like you guys faced the loss to the Bears, 35-16. Tough loss, especially, when there was a lot of talk about the Jags are going to turn their season around and move forward from here. I want to start with Derek. What were your thoughts in that game?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just felt like it. I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, well, is this where the Jaguars are going to come back down to earth as the team that everyone saw the first 4 weeks before they played the Indianapolis Colts? And that pretty much was what it was. And, UCF, I agree with him, and that Trevor Lawrence didn't look terrible. I mean, again, he completed about 60% of his passes, 235, 2 touchdowns. He did have an interception, which I understand, but, the rest of the team just did not look good. They weren't able to protect him very well. And I know that Chicago has a pretty solid defense, but I mean, even the Indianapolis Colts were able to run the ball relatively well against the Chicago Bears. The Jaguars were not able to run the ball effectively at all, and that's where this ended up. And if you're not able to run the football and you don't have an elite passing attack, which, the Jaguars clearly don't have, then that's going to stall your offense a lot of the times. And then, like he said, with the defense, I mean, from the second quarter on, I mean, they made the Chicago Bears look like the freaking Kansas City Chiefs out there, dude. I mean, Caleb Williams was just dicing their defense up. I mean, there was nothing they could do. They couldn't even stop the run. I mean, DeAndre Swift ran for 91 yards on 17 carries and a touchdown in that game. Caleb Williams had his best game of his NFL career yet, completing 75% of his passes or almost 80% for 226, 4 touchdowns. I mean, again, they just it was so bizarre to watch. And Cole Kmet is a phenomenal young tight end. And he has just been destroying people recently. And this was just another one of those situations. The Jags just had no answer for him. None. Every time he touched it, it was a big play waiting to happen. And I feel bad for Trevor Lawrence in a way. Like, I was kind of in the same situation with my team, where it's like the offense is doing its job for the most part, but then the defense just isn't backing them up. You know, if you're giving up 35 points, it doesn't matter how much your offense scores. I mean, that's so hard to be able to win those kinds of games. So I was very shocked, though, to see how dominant Chicago was, especially in that second half. I mean, they were doing whatever they wanted to Jacksonville.
Wow. What about you, Ruben? What you got on next game?
Yeah, Derek brings up the second quarter. I mean, it wasn't even the second quarter. It was 2 minutes left is when the Chicago Bears just started awakening. And you thought that in London, the Jaguars would have the advantage with the experience of playing there. It just did not look like that. This team no longer believes in their coaching staff. I wonder if they ever did. If we're being honest, this team, besides from a curse that the Indianapolis Colts cannot beat, the Jaguars might still be winless. I definitely agree that they should be sellers at the trade deadline, try to get as close to that number 1 overall pick as possible. But, this was a tough game to lose, especially, across the country where you have the experience and you're going against a rookie quarterback.
Man, oh, man. Titan Rossi?
Dude, I can't stand that the Bears are good. I don't know why. I just don't like the Bears for some reason. Like, I don't know if it's because all the hype, like, in the offseason, but you got to give it to Caleb Williams, man. Like, if you look at what he did and the throws that he made, I mean, that dude is good, man. Like, he's good. He's got the potential to be something really special. It's, I mean, as far as the Jaguars are concerned, like, it's kind of the same boat that the Titans are in. I mean, they're just a bad football team right now, and same thing with us. And they just couldn't get it going really versus the Bears. I mean, the Bears they're 4-2 now. Like they're on a path to do something really awesome this season.
UCF, talk to us, man. What happened, bro?
Yeah, I mean, this is the nail in the coffin, guys. This is Jaguars are 1-5. We are going nowhere. And at this point, we're kind of questioning, what do we want to do? Do we want to win games and, go out with a good old 7-10 record? Yippee, we won some games. Or do we want to, lose? I mean, I don't really care either way. I mean, honestly, I just want whatever will make sure this GM and head coach are out of here. But I guess to stick to the game, I mean, yeah, it sucked because the very first drive, the Jaguars drove all the way downfield on a 8-minute drive, 14 plays, 76 yards. And then they threw it to Gabe Davis and he dropped a touchdown pass. And then boom, the Jaguars had to kick a field goal. At the end of the half, it was 14-3. Jaguars get the ball back and, to start the half. And then after nailing a 20-yard strike to Evan Ingram on the first play, Evan Ingram fumbles. Okay. Then the Bears score touchdowns on every single possession from there. The defense just abysmal, and I just don't understand how, the week prior, the Jaguars played such a good bounce attack against the Colts, and granted, the defense may not have been great against the Colts. They were still able to get some pressure on Joe Flacco. D-line did nothing this game, was able to generate no pressure. The offensive play calling was just, it was like they were playing scared against the Bears. Just they were trying to run the ball all the time. They were doing all these like check downs. I just didn't understand, why are we not attacking these guys downfield? I mean, it's like they're trying to mitigate anything. And then, I don't know, it was puzzling. And then, I think everybody knows that, Doug Peterson is definitely on his way out. I mean, if they weren't playing back-to-back games in London, I would think that he'd probably already be gone. But, I think pending whatever happens next week against the Patriots, his leash is very, very short. But yeah, the season is done. When it comes to Jaguar fans, I don't really know what to tell you. I mean, this season is whatever you make of it. I don't blame you if you want the Jaguars to keep winning, so we can finish off at very best, like I said, 7-10, maybe 8-9 if you're lucky. That gets you nowhere, doesn't get you to the playoffs, gets you a shitty draft pick. Or do you want to go like 3-14 or 4-13, where you end up with a good draft pick and hopefully it does enough where the owner, which, by the way, the Jaguars got their new stadium deal approved by NFL owners today, where it says, maybe Shad Khan wants to take this whole entire football organization into a new direction. He's putting a lot of money into this team. He spends money that the GM tells him to spend, and it just isn't working out. So, yeah, It's pretty terrible. And yeah, I got no shit talk to really talk anymore. Okay. It's honestly right now, it's pretty much a pillow fight between, the Jaguars and the Titans. And honestly, I don't think the Colts are that good. I know Derek's probably in denial. Derek probably won't admit it, but the Colts aren't. It's only the only good team in the AFC South right now is the Texans. So shout out to Ruben. You guys are pretty good. The rest of us kind of fucking suck.
Hey, I mean, you guys can talk. I'm still sitting at 500. I'm still
in the playoffs.
The Colts are still in it, and they got a shot. I will say this: the AFC is wide open. Maybe even to some teams with one win. There's still time. Maybe. Let's go over to the next game of the week. The Houston Texans beat the New England Patriots 41-21. We're gonna start with Titan Rossi. What were your thoughts in this one?
Man, I mean, the Texans are really good. CJ Stroud is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I mean, I've said it all year. I mean, they had some games, like really close games and things like that, probably played down to the competition a little bit. But, this game, they were great, man. I mean, they did what they needed to do and some. That defense, I mean, Danico Autry, having him back, like, I know, we had him a couple years in Tennessee. That dude is a beast. And not only as a pass rusher, he's a really good run defender as well. Like, you're getting the whole package with Danico Autry. Derek knows it. I mean, and I guess he played for the Jags too. I didn't know he played for the Jags, but dude's a beast. As long as he still, has it and everything, he's going to be a huge addition to that defense. And I don't see the Texans stopping, man. I don't. I mean, they're 5-1. I just think they're one of the better teams in the league right now, if not one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the league.
Man, UCF, what do you have on it?
Yeah, I mean, Texans dominated. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool seeing Drake May play. I've always am interested in seeing rookie quarterbacks. And yeah, he put up some, yardage and stuff on the Texans, which, the Jaguars are playing them next week. So we'll probably get cooked by a second rookie quarterback in London. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, Texans took care of business, kind of beat down the Patriots as you'd probably expect. I mean, I don't think the score of this game really shocked anybody.
Hey, a real quick question, UCF. So you guys have 2 weeks in a row in London, and
yeah, we play in away. The Bears game was an away game, and then the Patriots game is a home game.
Did you stay or you came home?
What do you think?
Y'all
we're
came
staying
home.
there. Yeah,
okay.
we're staying.
Oh
there.
yeah, they're staying.
You think we're doing 4 transatlantic flights or whatever?
Well, y'all make a lot of bad decisions. That's why I had to ask. I'm just saying. But I figured that. I just wanted to know. Derek, talk to us about what you got on the game.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of keeping up on it as I was watching my game. Yeah, early in the game, it was, a relatively close one, but, as the game went on, Houston started pulling away a little bit more. It's kind of funny because, you see CJ Stroud, another 3 touchdown performance, and only had to throw the ball 30 times, 192 yards. That might be, Ruben, if I'm not mistaken, that might be his lowest number yet this season. But again, they scored 41 points. The ultimate reality, though, is, when you get Joe Mixon back, this is what happens. CJ Stroud doesn't have to be throwing the ball 45 times a game, and he certainly doesn't have to lead them down the field as much because Joe Mixon is able to take the load. Even though Joe Mixon only carried the ball 13 times in that game, it's not like he had a ginormous load there, but when you're averaging 7 or 8 yards a carry, it's insane. So, and of course, if you're Drake May and you're the New England Patriots, I think only Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson can lead their team in rushing and then be able to win the game. That doesn't work for Drake May. If your highest rusher was 38 yards, I don't think you're going to end up winning many games. most of his production came at the end when it was pretty much all set in stone at that point. So, yeah, Houston handled business against a bad New England team and a rookie that, was making his first start.
Man, oh man, Ruben, how do you keep doing it? How you feeling? Talk to us.
Dude, I mean, we're feeling fantastic. This is our best, start since 2012. And, there was a lot of negativity heading into this game. First, it was, you could only beat the crappy teams, right? The Jaguars, the Colts, and then it was, you can't beat a good team. Well, you beat the Bills. And then it turned into, well, you can't dominate a team. And you did that this Sunday against the New England Patriots. 41 points, your highest points of the season. And you had 27 of those points in the second half. The previous 5 weeks, the Houston Texans averaged only 6. So we wanted to see the second half adjustments. We wanted to see this offense explode. And this was without Nico Collins, who, as of right now, still leads the NFL in receiving. And Derek says it all. Joe Mixon returning. He is one of the most important pieces of this Houston Texan offense. When he has 100 yards, this team's undefeated, so we're 2-0 with him so far with the 100 yards. On the defensive side, Will Anderson Jr. had 3 sacks, 4 tackles for loss. He broke up a pass that led to an INT. He had a J.J. Watt type of day. Overall, this was a dominating performance in a stadium where you've never won before. So the Texans get their first dub in Gillette, but great win for the Houston Texans, man. I'm ready for Green Bay.
Green Bay. Time will tell. Good games next week, but let's move forward to the next games of the week. Well, no, not the next game of the week, the divisional game of the week. We had the Indianapolis Colts go up against the Tennessee Titans. Man, the Colts won 20-17. Let's start off with UCF Jaguar. What were your thoughts of that game?
Yeah, I mean, this for me was kind of the funeral for Will Levis. I mean, the Colts have a really, really bad pass defense, and Will Levis couldn't get over 100 yards passing on these guys. And Will Levis, like, I'm not even that sure if the Titans are that bad. I mean, they have a good defense and everything. It's just Will Levis continues to just give away games, and I almost wonder, like, if you went back and reset the season, and if you allowed Mason Rudolph to start, would this team maybe be 500? Or I imagine they might even have another win or two. I mean, the game Mason Rudolph played most of the game was their only win against the Miami Dolphins. So I don't know. Like, I think Will Levis, kind of the time is over for them. And now the Titans kind of have a decision to make. Do they want to, do they want to try to win games in Mason Rudolph, or they want to play for the long haul when it comes to maybe getting a better draft pick? I mean, coaches and stuff like that, they don't necessarily tank. So I do think that a move will be made pretty soon to, Mason Rudolph, especially with just the whole team. I mean, wide receivers getting frustrated. Calvin Ridley was extremely frustrated last game. I mean, I think he had 8 targets and 0 receptions, which is pretty insane. But yeah, the, Tennessee Titans, I mean, they kept it close, 20-17. Joe Flacco wins another game for the Colts. It's just really annoying to me how Anthony Richardson isn't playing. I'm not going to lie. I would like to see more of Anthony Richardson. I don't understand this whole, like the injury that he had. What is it? He got hit like the hip, and now he's like out for a few games. It's just.
I can give you some more context to it. They said that he was scheduled to play, and then either Sunday morning or Saturday night, I'm not 100% sure, there was a flare-up in the injury. And they said that he wasn't 100%, at least not. I mean, Anthony Richardson said it himself that if it was up to him, he would have played. But the Colts made an executive decision to keep him out.
What is his injury actually called? What's his injury?
It was
called?
A hip pointer is what they said.
I've never even heard of that in my life.
Never heard of that in my life, but listen, we find out new injuries to these players every single year.
No, Anthony Richardson is making up injuries. Anthony Richardson is inventing new injuries, okay?
He's inventing them? Oh, okay.
I give him credit. It's pretty unique, and I would like to, find ways to make up different things to get me out of work, but it's fine. Anthony Richardson does it pretty well. But yeah, I want to see him play more, man. He didn't play against the Jaguars, another divisional matchup. Yeah, but whatever. I mean, I'll continue to see the Colts. I mean, Joe Flacco winning games means nothing to me. I want to actually see Anthony Richardson put the team on his back and win some games for them. But whatever. Colts beat the Titans. Like I said, I don't think the Colts are that good. I don't think the Titans are that good. The Jaguars, I'll say they suck. There's only one good team in the AFC South right now, unfortunately.
Man, oh man. Ruben, what do you got on that divisional matchup?
Man, this game was like you're at a party and you see your two silver teeth cousins just, going at it and throwing hands. With Tennessee, just Will Levis isn't the answer. It's clear as day he's not well liked by the coaching staff. And like I said earlier, just tank. Let him go out there. Let him be a mean. He's going to give you 1 or 2 every single week and get as close to that number 1 as you can. But, with this Tennessee situation, man, it feels like they're on a slippery slope, and it feels like they've been on this since they fired Mike Vrabel. It seems like their owner, Amy Adams, just can't come up with a good decision, but doesn't look good in Tennessee. With Indianapolis, I'm with, Dalton. I want to see AR5 out there and see if he can give CJ Stroud any competition, but I wonder if the Colts organization sees Joe Flacco. They see the W. They see what he did last year with the Cleveland Browns. Maybe they still want to win some football games. So maybe they go with AR going forward, but I could understand if they go with Joe Flacco. But this was a game where it was just ugly football by both quarterbacks. Flacco had an ugly game as well. Michael Pittman showed out. Josh Downs showed out. But overall, good win by Indy. It keeps their hopes alive for hopefully contending.
Man, oh man, let's go with the team that lost. All right, Titan Rossi, what was your take in this game?
I mean, it was boring. I mean, it was hard to watch. It was like, I was sitting there at my girlfriend's house, just like, I don't know, man, just fed up. I'm sitting there.
You lost your beard, man.
Man, I lost my beard.
This team sucks.
I told her I was there. I was like, look, I don't know why I care so much. Like, it's just a game. It doesn't affect me. The Titans couldn't give 2 craps about me. You know what I mean? Like, literally. Like, I've tried to get press passes. We're the top, the highest subscribed YouTube channel out there for the Tennessee Titans. We can't even get an email back for a press pass. So why do I even care? But it's the fan in me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just a diehard fan. I'm always going to be a diehard fan. That's just what I'm going to do. But at the end of the day, it's just the game. But dude, I get so into it, man. Y'all ought to see me during games. Like, it's absolutely nuts. I lose all morality, everything. But I mean, I just love it, man. I love the Titans. And they just suck right now. Like, they were doing well. And what's insane about it all is they still have the number 1 defense in the NFL yardage wise. And they're starting to get some turnovers on defense and things like that. So the defense played really well. But there was 1 or 2 drives where Flacco made some plays. Josh Downs, that dude's a heck of a receiver. Like, I wish the Titans would have drafted him. I mean, that dude really is a baller. And there were a couple plays where we got burnt. Alec Pierce burnt us a couple times, and Flacco didn't get the ball to him. So there were a few plays that really could have gone their way. But I just don't see the Titans being able to pull out many games with Levis at quarterback. But the game as a whole is just boring, and it was just on both sides, really, other than a few plays here and there, from both teams.
And Derek, what you got on it?
Hey, Rossi, I just want to ask you real quick. How's that L'Jarius Sneed free agency signing working out for you? Huh?
Dude, that's the thing. Like, Sneed, and that was what sucked too. Is like Sneed got beat.
He got destroyed in that game.
He did,
fuck
man.
L'Jarius Sneed and fuck his bitch ass for not coming to Indy. See, this is what you get. This is what you get for selling out and going to this bum ass Titans team.
Would you want him on your team? Get burnt?
Go off,
kid. To go up against Michael Pittman and get mossed all damn game. That's what you
Okay,
get.
would you want him on your team getting burnt? That makes
I
no
mean,
sense.
he
It's
might
a
not
have
be
an
getting
argument
burnt
on
as bad if
TV.
he was over here in Indy. You don't know. He could have came over to Indy. He could have been over here helping us, but no. Had to go chase the money in Tennessee. See how that's working out for him.
Look, he got traded, dude. I mean,
yeah, well, I mean, again, it was
not
all
like we
said and
signed him
done.
as a
It was
free
all
agent.
said and done with Indy, but then he last second said I wanted more money, and then it resulted in Indy not taking him.
Because who wants to go to Indianapolis?
Well, who wants to go
Chris
to Tennessee?
Ballard wants players that want to be here.
I want to be here and go 1-5 or
We got
1-4.
Nashville, man. What do y'all got?
Well, anyways,
They don't got shit. You see, you heard them.
Who wants to go hang out in Indianapolis?
Just made him look absolutely terrible in that game. I loved that touchdown in the fourth quarter. Loved it. Anyways, yeah, I said it in my recap at the end of the game. I said, both these teams suck. We just sucked a little less. And that's basically what happened here. It wasn't a great game by Flacco. There was a lot of missed throws, uncharacteristic, out of bounds throws that typically don't happen with Joe Flacco. Just did enough to get the job done. But again, it was outside of the first drive. It's the same thing as the Jaguars game. First drive, perfect. Wait till the fourth quarter to finally start scoring again. This is the same crap. This is what I'm telling you. From the first drive until the fourth quarter, the Colts offense does not know how to play football because Joe Flacco can't move. You can't run the football without Jonathan Taylor. And I mean, it was terrible. It was like Rossi said, it was like watching paint dry. It was the most boring thing ever. Literally, the Indianapolis Colts were averaging 1.5 yards rushing the football in that game. It was so terrible. I hated it. And then Joe Flacco was having to do everything for the team. And he was messing up on a few throws that would have been touchdowns. Only thing that saved you is the fact that you had these two players in Josh Downs and Michael Pittman that actually showed up in this game. I mean, shout out to Michael Pittman too, because we're at this time last week, we were talking about him potentially going to IR. Like that's what people were saying is his back is so bad that the Colts are considering putting him on IR. He practices on Friday, says my back feels fine. I'm going to go out there until I can't go out there anymore, and then proceeds to moss L'Jarius Sneed for a game-winning touchdown. Like, I mean, that dude is a baller. That dude is a dog, all right? So I love what I see from Josh Downs and Michael Pittman. As far as our defense goes, yeah, I mean, they were playing a terrible Titans offense. I'm not even going to really give them a whole lot of credit, considering the fact that the top 3 rushers for the Titans on 26 carries ended up getting, 135 yards. So you were averaging over 5 yards a carry from those guys. I mean, again, this Colts defense cannot stop the run. They can't. I'm quite surprised that the Titans couldn't score more off the fact that Tony Pollard scored a touchdown on a 3rd and 19 on a halfback draw. I was so mad, dude. I literally about threw something through the wall over here in the middle of that. And it started with me calling out Zaire Franklin, saying he needs to stop podcasting and start going over here and talking with these players a little bit more because, obviously you guys can't tackle. So, I mean, something needs to change there. But, yeah, we were not great defensively. Only thing we did good on Sunday was the fact that our corners actually stepped up. Jalen Jones was actually pretty solid in that game. Had to face DeAndre and Calvin Ridley most of it. Samuel Womack, who we got from the 49ers after the first week of the NFL action, he comes over on waivers, and he has now looked like the best defensive player we've had since signing. I mean, that's crazy to think about, but on 21 targets, on 26 targets, has only allowed 3 receptions for 21 yards so far. And that is elite. I mean, he's playing insanely well, and Kenny Moore coming back for this game was huge. Our safeties were really good. And it also pisses me off for the defense because we still got no sacks on Will Levis. This is 2 weeks in a row that this Colts defense has played terrible offensive lines and yet still cannot gain any kind of consistent pressure on the quarterback. I know that the Colts have had a whole bunch of injuries on that defensive line, and that definitely hurts. But it is bad right now. Even on our blitzes, we still can't get pressure on Trevor Lawrence or Will Levis. And if that continues after this next week against the Dolphins, I very much am concerned about what the next 5 or 6 quarterbacks are going to do to us if we don't get any kind of pressure on them. But nevertheless, Colts figured it out. I'm so happy to have finally gotten a divisional win. Couldn't have done it against a worse team in the Titans. So I'm happy over here.
Man, oh man, it'll be interesting to see how the Colts move from here. They got a matchup with the Dolphins, which will be an interesting game this week because after the Dolphins game, they had 5 straight games of just terror.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the schedule. But we shall see how that turns out. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your AFC South Roundtable game recaps from week 6. Don't forget that this stream is being powered by BetUS. Take advantage of 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit using code YouTube150, all right? The odds right now, as we said earlier, are already up on BetUS. Make sure that if you do take advantage of it, you gamble responsibly. Supporting our sponsors is supporting the channel, but BetUS isn't just a sports book. It's also casino, race book, and even BetUS TV and so much more. Take advantage of it. Hit that like button on your way out of the building. Before we get out of here, a few more super chats were sent through. Let's see here. Paul said, just worry about your top 3 draft pick, UCF. We will worry about the Colts. Wow.
Burned.
I mean, we beat you guys. What are you talking about? Our only win came against you guys.
That's true.
Oh, man. Paul said, we got the Indy 500, the Pacers, the most importantly, a Sooner Bowl.
It's Super Bowl.
Super Bowl ring, which none of you know what that's like.
About those Vietnam rings.
Wait, hold on. None of y'all got a Super Bowl?
None of them. I'm the only one here that knows what that's like.
I didn't even realize.
What was it like watching that when you're in a diaper?
Right. What was it like watching that in middle school?
Do you have that on VHS?
10 years old, boy. I remember it like it was yesterday.
You were here.
Do you have the whole replay of it on VHS?
Wow.
Oh, I love it.
Black and white.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just so thankful for everybody tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button after before you get out of here. But remember, we have a prediction video coming in 2 days. Make sure you check that out. The Houston Texans are going to be playing the Packers. Huge game. Colts versus the Dolphins, another huge game. Titans versus the Bills, a game. Jaguars versus the Patriots. Oh man, the battle of the number 1 seed, maybe. I don't know. So make sure you tune in for that. Any last words, UCF?
Love you guys. It's been a pleasure. The Jags haven't been a pleasure, but you guys have been a pleasure.
Wow. What about you, Titan Rossi?
I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I'm just a depressed, shaved face Titans fan.
Oh, man.
But no, thank y'all for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate it.
Zoomed in.
Everybody zooming in on it.
Somebody said I have a long chin. I don't know.
Saw somebody say you had a giant chin.
Man.
Giant.
Final words, Derek.
Hey, listen, TD, I'm coming for you this week, man. I'm
stop.
coming for you. We about to run this one more week, and then we about to go 0-5 after that. But your team gets to be the last one on the revenge tour, right?
Someone told me you lie to yourself, you lie to whoever. All right, Ruben, what's your final words?
Hey, man, this was fantastic. Can't wait to be back here next week and talk about some Houston Texans and everyone else's team's football, man. Happy to be here.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to the AFC South Roundtable. Make sure you punch that like button on your way out, and we are out. See you in a few days on the Prediction Show. Peace.